Hey guys, Kyle here. Gonna start a little mini series for everyone. This here is taking a $30 cold steel Frontier Hawk. Gonna do some work to it, modify it, change a few things, and make this perfect for just about anyone. I'm gonna take you guys a little more along than the last video with the Husqvarna axe. This here I'm gonna show you a little more in depth. So over the next few days, expect to see at least 2, possibly 3 more videos coming out of here. A few things we are gonna cover is this does have a long handle, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit. We're going to take the varnish off. Also, this does have a paint on it. I want to take that off and do a forced patina using vinegar. I'm going to show you here what I'm going to use to take the paint off, and then I'm going to let it soak overnight in vinegar, and then tomorrow we're going to do a little more. We'll put an edge on it. We'll take it from there, see how everything goes. You know, maybe even get the handle to fit the head just a little bit better. But alright guys, so let's get started. So first we're going to have to take this off. I already kind of worked it loose off camera, so you have to see me just banging it off of something for a few minutes. So we're going to just start right now with the Tomahawk head itself. Alright, so I set out a little piece of foil. I set this off to the side. And then let's take a look here. Alright, so we have our head chilling, and then what I'm using is I just have this quick strip. We're going to use some of this. Now you are going to want to use gloves when we do take this off. Actually, I probably should have put gloves on before this, but alright, so here we go. I'm just going to give it a nice healthy coating to make sure to get some inside. And then using the glove, which I am not wearing, but I'm going to just spin it around. And then we're going to move outside, because this stuff is pretty nasty. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in. Give it a nice vigorous coating. Let's grab our Tomahawk and our sandpaper, and let's head outside. That is some nasty stuff you do not want to be breathing in. Alright, where do we want to set you up? Set you up right here. There we go. Sorry about the moving around so much. Alright. Now this here, the varnish actually isn't too heavy on it, so I'm actually just starting right now with the 120 grit. Then like I said, we will be taking this down a little bit in size. It is very long. This handle, I think it's 22 inches. And is a pretty small head. So I think what I want to do is take, I don't know, probably at least, I want to take at least 5 to 6 inches off of the total length. Get the bulk of this taken down. And then we can even start with treating it with the boiled linseed oil today. And I just work. Now this is a fun project. This is something, you know, like I said, this Tomahawk goes for about 30 bucks. They do have a few different styles. I think they have 3 different versions. This is the Frontier version, but I think they're all in the $30 to $35 range. So they are a nice fun project if you want to do. And just like with the axe head, or with the Husqvarna axe that we did, want to make sure we get the end grains as well. Because we want this thing to soak up as much of that boiled linseed oil as we can. Alright, and then also that varnish is going to have to sit for about 15 minutes. So we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. And then we'll get back going with the vinegar. You know, this is something too, you know, you take your time with it, you make it look nice, you do what you want with it. What I like with Tomahawks though, as opposed to axes, I mean they are a lot smaller and lighter, and you can take the head off much easier. And also lends itself pretty good if, say, you were to break this when you're out in the woods. I mean, you just need to find something and just carve it to the same diameter as the head of the hawk. You can do that in the field. I mean, I guess in theory you could make an axe handle, but I don't know, I'm trying to imagine building an axe handle and trying to wedge it and everything out in the woods. I mean, it can be done, but not something I've tried. Oh yeah, I just want to keep working that all down. I mean, there are a lot of ways you can go with this. There are different, if you really want, you could do different stains, everything like that, but personally, I really like the boiled linseed oil. I think it adds a really nice look, and it's not a varnish or anything like that. You know, better than using a stain or something, for example. But yeah, just keep going. Excuse me. It's very hot. I just get hot easily. Yeah. And this really, too, you know, is 120 grit. It's very little work. And we are getting this varnish stripped right off. And if you want to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the piece I take off. You know, it's like I said, probably going to take, 5 to 6 inches off. I'm going to save the piece that I take off, and I want to use it to make a knife handle. And I think it'll make a nice little set to go together, a nice little bush crafting or wood crafting set. Alright. Now one thing I am going to do, because you can only get so much with the sandpaper, from the head being on so tight, it has kind of made a little ridge up in here, and this will take a long time to sand out. So I'm going to use my pocket knife and actually try to work some of this down a bit, make it a little bit easier with the sanding. Be a little less sanding to have to do in this spot. But the varnish itself we have off. That actually came off pretty easily. That I'm not too worried about. And it'll take the boiled linseed oil very well. There we go, just working that ridge down. And this will make the head fit even better once we're done. We'll just have to sand this up when we finish taking that ridge out. Alright, so it's still been a few minutes. You do want to be careful carving like this, carving towards yourself. There we go. I'm starting to get somewhere now. Yeah, because then in the next video we do tomorrow, what I want to do is we'll see how that patina worked out, and we'll get into the sharpening. You know, maybe we'll start treating this tonight a little bit and treat it more tomorrow. There we go. Get those little bits off. We'll go back to sanding in a minute. I'm going to take those chunks out. We want it to be a nice, even, smooth fit. You know? Gotta make sure we do it right. Alright, I think that's got it. And you want to know the limits. You want to make sure you don't go too much, do too much. There we go. Oh, that's looking much better now. So something I actually wish I did a long time ago. I got this axe head probably a year ago, year and a half. Or the Tomahawk, rather, I'm sorry. There we go. That's looking really good. Yeah, so we'll cut it tomorrow. And we'll bust out that. I'll use that silky saw and get that going really good. There we go. That is looking good. Make sure we get any notches or ridges out. And we want it to look good. Something when we show people, they'll be like, wow. There we go. You know, and also too, if let's say worst case, if you don't like how the handle turns out, you can get these handles replacement, or you can get replacement handles. I don't think they're too much. I think they're probably like 10, 15 bucks. So actually wouldn't be bad even just have a second one. You can get a few of them, have a few different looks on them, depending on what you're going for. Yeah, that's starting to look really good now. There we go. So that way, take any of the high spots out, cleaning up that ridge that was formed from the head being driven on really hard. That's cleaned up really good. I'm really digging that a lot. Alright. Get a little more on the end. This is something too, you take your time with it, do it how you like it. I think like with the Husqvarna axe, I'm going to keep this at about 120 grit. So you get a little better grip on it. Yeah, this is coming out just fine. If you want another minute, we'll get her over and take a look, see how that Tomahawk head's doing with that varnish stripper on there. I think it's been on there about 7 or 8 minutes. So that there, what we're going to do is after it is done, we're going to dunk it in the water. Probably use some of the sandpaper, get any of the pieces off that are still on. And then we'll get our vinegar solution all set up. There we go. And just like before, just clean it up, get that dust off. I should probably get the head a little bit more. Because we really want that boiled linseed oil to soak in really well. Because that's what's going to make the Tomahawk handle really last. Alright, that is looking good there. Alright, let's go ahead back over, take another look. See how that's coming out. Alright, so still doing its thing. Fumes have cleared. Now we can let that keep going. I'm going to set this to the side for right now. I have a bucket of water already prepared. And then I think I'll come back to you guys in a little bit, see how this is going.